What's good, gang? It's imaniblaize, and I'm back here with another video, shimidio. After that, I'm like, come back. I've got my herb smoking. Well, the smoke is dissipated just as I needed to. Sometimes I'll try to like burn an incense while I'm doing a video, but if I have too much smoke around me, I can't talk. But the sounds and the herbs and the smoke, it activates my, I've been, sorry, this is chaotic, but I've been trying to do better with like the quality of my videos. I know that I've read a couple comments where somebody has said that they couldn't hear me, so I got a mic. And I forgot about having the mic when you're probably supposed to do this first, right? Bear with me. All right. Anyway, I forgot about having the mic, and honestly, I don't even know if it's working. I gotta really spend some time like listening to it and all that, but I hope it's working, and if it didn't work, then I'll try again next time. Anyway, what am I talking about today? I want to talk about Black bodies being used in yoga spaces for clout and how we can capitalize off of it. Gang, gang. So, where is this coming from? Y'all know that my brain went blank, sorry. But y'all know that I worked at a toxic yoga studio for pretty much the past 2 years. And I encountered a lot of injustice, just a lot of BS. And one of the main things that I discovered while being in these, and I'll say these because even though I taught at that specific yoga studio for 2 years, I still did go into other white spaces, and I didn't see what I saw at that studio, but I did see that I saw it. I saw what I'm about to talk about, and that's the using Black bodies for clout. And when I say like I've seen it, I mean like when you look on like places like Aloe Yoga, Lululemon, any big platform or brand that is around yoga, they will sprinkle some Black faces in there to make their brand seem inclusive, when in reality their brand is not inclusive, because most of the, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, most Black people that I know, they not going to Lululemon. They're not about to spend $98 to $130 on a pair of leggings anyway. And y'all know that. They know that, but they'll still put a Black face on there just to make it seem like, and I'll take that back actually, because there actually are a lot of Black people who wear Lululemon. Let's clear this thing up. The average motherfucker from the hood is not buying no Lululemon. That's who I mean. And that's what I mean when I say that. And a lot of these brands will use a Black face and say that they are inclusive for all Black faces, but really they're not. They're more so inclusive for maybe a certain type of Black face, a certain type of Black body type. But as far as like all Black people, no. And that's the case for a lot of yoga spaces and a lot of yoga studios. They will sprinkle some Black faces on that page. They will put Black bodies on display, but that space is not really a safe space for Black people. And I'll tell you just why. When I spoke on my, I kind of dipped on it in my Beyond the Studio Walls video, but I can go into a little bit more detail with it now, simply because I really didn't want to do but so much speaking, because honestly I was scared, because the yoga studio owner she's threatened me with like legal documents and stuff if I speak out about my experience, and if anything can be like possibly linked back to the studio, she's coming at me with lawsuits and ting and ting and ting. I spent about a month being afraid to speak out, and then God and my ancestors reminded me of who the fuck I am, and run up, get done up. Anyway, back to speaking. And I say that because I'm pretty sure she's gonna watch this video. I'm pretty sure she watches all of my videos, and if not all, any video that she thinks might potentially have something to do with her space, because she's paranoid about people actually seeing through the veil and seeing the fact that this is a full-blown show. It's a full-blown show that they put on at this studio that I used to work at. So anyway, I say that black bodies are put on display, and at this specific studio, I say this because in black bodies being in the space is really the only thing that seemed to be the only thing that seems to be the only thing that matters, is just having the black bodies in the space. I apologize for the babble. If you are new here, know that I don't really do the cut and chop and screw videos unless it's something that like was really something that really interrupted the video. But for the most part, I just go straight through, and I speak raw and real. And so sometimes I'm thinking about my next thought in the moment. Like, I don't really do too much planning. But anyway, I feel like the black bodies being on the mats in the space is the only thing that actually concerns these studio owners that want to say that they are a safe space for black people. And I say that because when I came into the studio space, letting it be known that basically all like black people, melanated beings, we already have years of ancestral trauma within us. So you're asking us to come into this predominantly white space, and you're saying, hey, yeah, it's really safe here. It's safe. But when I vocalize the things that don't make me feel safe, those things didn't matter. And I'm kind of speaking in third person, first person, but I didn't say this in the beginning, but I just speak openly and honestly from my own experiences. And so from my own experience, when I'm hearing, yeah, this is a safe space, we care about the black experience, but then I'm turning around and I'm telling you I don't really feel safe. I need certain things and certain elements, and I need to be able to express myself in a specific way in order to feel safe here. And when I'm expressing this clearly, and the response is basically, I hear you, but in order to be here, you have to move like this, and you have to fit this mold. That says, I don't care about you feeling safe here or seen here. If you want to be here, you have to act like this. And if you don't, we will replace you with another black body, because we're only concerned about the image and putting on the show. I have come into, when I first went into the space, I said this in my other video, I came in wanting to spread knowledge about African yoga and Kemetic yoga. That was shut down, and I was forced to get in line and practice Baptiste yoga. And I was forced to push myself in ways that I don't even feel like I was fully ready to, but I felt like I had to be in this space. And to be in this space, I had to push myself in this way. That's traumatizing, that's toxic, that's abuse, that's so many things that people in power, white people in power, don't seem to be willing to acknowledge or even try to understand. If you're a white woman watching this or a white person watching this, can you imagine what it feels like what it would feel like to walk into a black space? It's a bunch of black bodies and maybe 2 or 3 of you in the room. And you don't do loud music and yelling and not yelling, because we don't yell, we're just loud, but you don't do loudness. You're the complete opposite. So you go into a black space and this black space says, it's safe for all people, white people, you're safe here. But you come into this black space and you express the fact that, hey, this loudness really makes me feel uncomfortable and it doesn't resonate in my spirit. And you express that. How would you feel if the owner of this predominantly black space said to you, I hear you, I understand your experience, but this is what we do here, and so you're either gonna have to get with it or find somewhere else to go. How would you feel? Yeah. So just imagine that being the norm. As a black person going into most yoga studios owned by white women. I don't know any yoga studio owned by a white man, but owned by white women who want yoga to look a certain way, be a certain way, and they don't care about the black experience. They don't care about the experience of black yoga teachers who are trying to still figure this out and find their way in a whitewashed industry, even though I'm a hit that nail on the head every chance I get, even though yoga originated in Africa. Imagine. And so I'm speaking on this because I need melanated beings to stop practicing cognitive dissonance, and I need y'all to realize that these spaces aren't really safe and they really aren't fucking with us like that. They fucking with you if you falling in line and you playing and you cooning with the way they want you to. But the moment you go to hold them accountable for not giving you everything that you need to really thrive as a black person in that space, that's the moment you're going to understand the things that I'm saying. And so until you get to that point, I just want you to remember to use them the same way that they are using you. Okay? Your blackness, this isn't the case for all studio spaces and studio owners, because I do a monthly workshop at a studio here in Charlotte called The Coterie, and the owner has done so well, such a good job of making sure that melanated people feel safe in her space, and she's not doing any acting. She's not doing anything big and grandiose. She just is getting it. She gets it, and she's taking the time to continue to learn about things that maybe she doesn't understand. And she doesn't have to say this. It just resonates with her space and the way she shows up. But that's not the case for most yoga studios, and that's not the case with most white yoga studio owners. Most white yoga studio owners, they care, but they don't really care as long as they have their skinny white bodies coming in and out of their hot ass yoga classes, and their numbers are still numbering. Who gives a fuck about the few black people that come into the space that feel away? Who cares? I care. There are a couple people in the trenches that care too. And so that's why I'm speaking on it. So how can you use them the way they use you? You show up as your black ass in that space, because when you do show up authentically, other melanated beings also gain the permission to show up authentically. They then gravitate towards you and they want to work with you. So I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. If you in these white spaces and you already know It's only your black face that has you in this space. It's not your talent. It's not any of that. It's literally just what's the word? Performative action. Cool. Use that to your advantage. After you finish these classes, let folks know where they can find you outside of those studio walls. Now, if you working at the toxic studio I used to work at, you don't have that option because they make your ass sign paperwork and all that other extra shit. So I would honestly just not sign the paperwork and see if you have the option to still work there. I don't know how that works. I don't work there anymore. But if you're not in a position where you have to sign any type of anything and the owner hasn't made it clear that like you can't work outside of the studio the way it was at that studio, if you have the freedom to make connections within the studio, make your connections, filter those bodies into the thing that you are creating. Do not, I repeat, do not bank on your yoga career being at the hands of a white studio owner. I'm gonna repeat that shit again. Do not bank on your yoga career being at the hands of a white studio owner. Let me get a little closer to the camera so that y'all understand this. Hold up. Let me get a little closer. Babylon is falling. Babylon is falling. The day is going to come when the last shall be first and the first shall be last. And when that day comes, you better be on the right side. That's all I got for you. I love you. I mean it. Bye. Mwah.